Good morning, everyone. My name is Cassandra. This is Luna, and we're going to take you through a short power morning yoga flow. So a great way to get a boost of energy and strengthen the major muscle groups. So we'll work on shoulder strength, abs, glutes, and quads. Unfortunately, miss, you are going to have to move off of me. Great for all experience levels, no props required. And let's just begin in tabletop pose for a few rounds of cat and cow. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Okay, miss, you're gonna have to move. Sorry, Luna. So cat and cow, just a way to warm up the spine and get the movement in rhythm with your breath. You're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, curl tailbone up. And as you exhale, reverse this motion, contract and push the mat away from you. And just keep going in and out of those two poses. I want you to think about pushing into the tops of your feet to take some of the weight out of your knees. And similarly, you're pushing into your fingertips and into your knuckles to take some of the weight out of your wrists. Take one more cycle of breath here. So inhale, finding a nice back bend, opening through the chest. Exhale, broadening between the shoulder blades. And then back through a neutral position. You're going to walk your hands slightly forward. So just a couple inches past your shoulders. Tuck your toes under and find a hovering tabletop pose. So my knees are just lifted a few inches off the mat. We're going to straighten into our plank. Inhale back to that hovering table, so my hips are not lifting or lowering. And then we're going to exhale all the way back into a downward dog. And we'll do that about 10 times or so. So we're going to inhale, floating table. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, floating table. Exhale, downward facing dog. And every time you go into down dog, see if you can go a little further. Keep going, hovering table, straighten the legs to plank, tabletop. Exhale, hips go up, down dog. Keep going here. Feel the strength through your shoulders. Hugging in slightly through the inner thighs and drawing your lower belly in and up. So even as we're doing these poses, think of pushing into fingertips and knuckles, taking some of the body weight out of your wrists. And the more you do it, the more you might be able to get your heels closer towards the mat when we find that downward dog. So let's just take 2 more full cycles here. Inhale to hovering table. Exhale to plank. Inhale, hover. Exhale, downward dog. Last one like this, and we're going to hold down dog. Plank. And downward facing dog. Paddle out the legs, push into the heels. Really find that space here as you reach your chest towards your thighs. Into our 3-legged dog, right leg extends up, bend your right knee, open up your hip wide, get a big stretch in here. And we'll come into our high lunge as a transition. So my right foot goes forward to the top of the mat. And as you lift on up, we're going to interlace our hands behind the lower back, squeeze your shoulder blades behind you, and think of lifting your knuckles off of your tailbone. Coming into swan pose, it's a variation of warrior 3. So you're going to be balancing on that right leg. Keep your right knee bent. So lifting that left leg up, peeling the heart forward. So almost like a single leg squat, really bend even more into that supporting standing leg. Keep lifting and reaching through the knuckles. Your gaze is steady. One more big breath in here. Into our warrior 1. Left foot plants down at around a 45-degree angle. Keep a bend into that front knee. Circle the arms. Palms come together to touch, gazing up. Both hip bones are facing forward. And let's circle the hands down. We'll take a pigeon pose stretch from here. So you can bring your right knee somewhere behind your right wrist. Extend that left leg further back behind you. Square off the hips so you're not rolling over onto the right. And then we'll fold on down. Taking a good 5 slow, steady breaths here. These morning classes are a great way to set the tone for our day, putting ourselves first. And I usually like to use this as an opportunity to set the intention for the day ahead by choosing one word, just one simple word, whatever comes to you, that captures how you want to feel today, what you want to focus on, what matters to you. See if you can relax your shoulders a little bit more. And we'll start to lift ourselves up, meeting in downward facing dog. You're welcome to just hold your downward dog, or you can take a vinyasa. But just stretch out that right leg first, get the blood flowing again. And if you'd like to take your flow, we're going to inhale to plank pose. Exhale all the way down. Bhujangasana into our cobra. Keep your elbows in. And release back to downward facing dog. Second side, left leg rises. Bend your left knee. Open up your hip. Really squeeze through the glute to get that knee up even higher as you push into your right heel. Into our high lunge. This is our transitional pose. We're going to interlace our hands the more unusual way. So get your other thumb on top, squeeze your shoulder blades behind you, open up through your chest, lift your knuckles up, and keep this bend in your left knee as you transition into this variation of Warrior 3, sometimes called swan pose. I'm reaching and extending through my right leg, pulling the lower belly in, getting deeper into this one-legged squat through my left leg. And at most, your chest is parallel to the ground, no lower than that. Sink down a little bit lower. And we'll find our Warrior 1. Right foot steps back. Make sure your feet are hip-width distance apart. Release the arms. You can circle them up. Palms come together to touch. Keep that deep, generous bend into that front knee. Coming into pigeon pose from here. Framing the front foot, you're going to bring your left knee somewhere behind that left wrist. Straighten your right leg back behind you. Even out through the hips here and maintain this length that you have along the spine as you fold on down. And you don't need to go all the way down to the mat. You can stay up on your elbows. Trying to slow down our breath in pigeon. Getting the inhale to be just as long as the exhale as it flows in and out through our nose, going all the way down to our lower belly. And perhaps coming back to this one-word intention for your day. Let's find downward facing dog. And take a moment just to stretch out that left leg. And if you'd like, you can take a vinyasa from here as well, inhaling forward to plank. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, find a back bend. Downward dog, lifting the hips up and back. Your last little moment here in down dog, try to relax your neck, relax your head. And we'll come to take a seat. Oh, joined by another little guest here. This is one of my foster kittens. Sitting up nice and tall, either cross-legged or kneeling. So bring that one-word intention, focusing on it now. Hands can come together at the front of the heart, and we'll close this class and set the intention by chanting Om one time together. Let's inhale to chant. Breathe in deep. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing this short morning power flow. I hope you feel energized. I have many more short morning yoga classes here on my channel and inside my mobile app if you wanted to make this a daily habit. Please subscribe and maybe we'll practice again tomorrow morning.